So intuitively, you're taking this process, no matter what answers you receive and how you perceive them. This is the inner voice communicating with you. This is you hearing the inner voice. So, step 7, have a conversation with yourself. Now that you've asked all these questions to yourself, you have an inner peace and you can meditate. I don't have to teach you how to have this conversation with yourself. You're intuitively going to know how to respond to the image that's coming to you, representing this symbol to Earth. You will know what to ask and the result of the answers that you get from the inner voice. You can look the process in the eye and you can say, I'll be far better. Talking to yourself internally is a habit of good conversation with your inner voice. There's no right or wrong way to do this. If you're feeling a strong emotion, such as triggers, inner voice is calling for you to bang your head on the wall. If you don't know the reason why you feel the way you do, the inner voice is actively calling for your attention, calling for you to listen. It's really important for us to listen a little bit. And if we befriend this inner voice as our romantic partner, it doesn't matter if they're triggering or if you're feeling super happy about it. We're going to check in with a form. It will take time to essentially, during the day, say, hey, how are you? How are you feeling today? What do you want today? And if you're not sure that this inner voice is really patient with you, delaying immediate decisions, that you want it to be giving you time and briefing what takes to you. So the result of this inner voice, Paul of you, with that movement, you try to process this inner voice and it doesn't talk to you and it doesn't communicate with you and it doesn't do any impressions of your terrible workout, then you have to be patient. And what happens is you suppress the inner voice and the girth, your inner reality for so long that you can ask it if it's been wounded by the whole process. It's basically saying, how should I believe that you're not going to do this now? Have I listened to you so long? And sincerely, I don't want to go back to the normal being. So if you got this kind of interview, and it's essentially for you to be present and for you to come back and continue coming back no matter how long it takes to properly make as many takes as needed to trust you enough to talk to you. So chances are your own inner voice is going to correct this turn and have an abusive pattern of willpower over my power. So the steps how to address your own emotions is to watch my video entitled Emotional Wake Up Call. And the tonality that I use in that Metasprit is interacting with you and yourself in your own voice. Practice connects you with your harmony cunt. And your inner voice spaces loudest through your heart. To understand how to do this, you need to watch a lot of YouTube videos on how to commit to your word. It's important to know that there are different kinds of inner voice that are disrespecting you, that can speak through your mind. If they can speak through your fingernails, through your pancreas, they can speak on behalf of any aspect of you liking to do this, and your voice represents the loo. With enough practice, you're not going to have to shut off your senses and confine your inner voice. It's not going to be a whisper. It's going to be a yell. So instead of going to flying dead, you're going to blue twit. It's going to come up with to meet you. It's going to become unavoidable. As you're engaging with it, an extra pearl literally hear your inner voice. And then it could be an expression of the truth of reality itself. It's not going to be a mystery if you believe in how you feel and human is what you want. And that being said, expressions are really, really credible, going from the quiet to becoming really quiet, suppressing nothing, and essentially sending the message, guess what? My parents are also part of my build. My voice doesn't really matter, and quintessentially, it's the inner voice shrinking. We don't allow it to express itself because it doesn't need that much space. It expresses itself from the little corner of its own self, and it commits to its own practices. And it doesn't have to express itself all the time. You can watch and learn from process of watching and learning.